What is up, guys? Wraec is here with a new video, and today DH dropped an absolute info bomb on us, which I definitely want to share with you guys. And it is something that I've been waiting for nearly 2 years. Nearly 2 years ago, I made the video, monsters were great, they deserve some love. And as you have guessed, they have announced power upgrades to monsters, which I think is absolutely great. Because the thing that I was talking about in that video, before we hop into that info, maybe a brief summary, was that some of those effects on the monsters were just like a little bit outdated. And specifically, I was referring to the Phoenix, because the Phoenix, back then when I started the game, was released and was basically, well, an absolute monster. It was an absolute monster, yeah, great. It was considered really the best monster there is. And later we got Nemean, and was also pretty hyped about this, but when Phoenix was released, that was a real game changer. And one thing that was particularly liked about this monster was that not only were you able to get, well, extra bonus damage, you had the holy damage in here together with crit damage as base stats, which is a great combination, because keep in mind, back then there was no treasure train, so you didn't have like a 2023 treasure that basically gave you all of the crit damage in the world. There were no star spawns either, so every source of crit damage was something that you would cherish. You really wanted that, so extra crit damage plus holy damage was a huge amount of damage. And then on top of that, what you had was, you had heal. You could really heal up your monsters with that. With Phoenix in my team, I could suddenly survive Flame Shrine, because I got this 500,353 HP to 4 random allies. So now there is a little bit of a problem here though. So 500,000 HP heal was something that was very meaningful. It was something that I considered nice, and that was very, very good to keep your heroes alive. And 400,000 damage, that was something you noticed as well. Monsters weren't really well sought after for the damage per se that they do. That was like a little bit of an added benefit, but the heal was meaningful. Now let's take a look at a hero that we have nowadays. And that isn't even with full stats. 32 billion HP. So if I now heal by 500,000, that is not even 1%. That is 0.0 something percent. And thus, there are some problems with those monster stats, and this is also the reason that we now get upgraded monsters. So let's take a look at that. So what we got here, first look at the new feature, Spiritual Liberation. And this was posted today on WeChat, and we also got a post on Facebook. Keep in mind, I don't have a Facebook account, so yeah, nothing to see here really. The first thing that I want to point out, it is a little bit confusing. I haven't quite understood it, because it says unlock condition, Soul Pack Liberation will be able to players have 3 or more monsters with their level, aura and rune at their max level. So far so good. Currently available monsters only Phoenix, so other monsters will follow later. And then it says rule, when all monsters have reached their maximum level, you can use the corresponding monster treasure to perform monster liberation, which unlocks higher level cap for the monsters. So seems to kind of indicate that this is not the same monster liberation, soul pack liberation. I really don't, this is really written in a quite confusing way. We have a few screenshots here though on WeChat, so let's check this out. First of all, this is an automatic translation from Chinese to English, so keep that in mind. There might be some weird stuff in here. The monsters are waiting for an opportunity to move, and the devouring of void energy has brought about a new breakthrough. The news function, Spiritual Contract Liberation, in the English version called Soul Contract Liberation. We will see if the name stays the same. Usually when we have like those funky names that are a little bit long, they tend to change later. Let's follow the information frog and have a brief understanding first. First of all, we see this screenshot of Phoenix. We have the rebirth button over here, and what we seemingly have is a new button here, a green one. And this green button leads us to the rules of play. If you upgrade the levels or some runes of at least 3 monsters, this is what we saw before, also that it's only Phoenix, we get to this screenshot. The first thing that had me confused here, my Phoenix has 4 of those gems. I don't know why this one only has 3. No idea. But it seems to enhance the level cap from 180 to 210. And the requirements here seem to be, well, there is kind of a checkbox there, which with a quick Google Lens translation says it is required treasures. And we will see this treasure system in a second. I don't know why there is a checkbox, I'll be honest, no idea. And why this arrow is there, I can also really explain. I also think it's kind of interesting. I think you can see this in the video still. Seems to play on an emulator to make this. Kind of fancy, I don't know. Or if at least made this UI thing away, but okay, cool. When all the monsters have reached the maximum level, you can use the corresponding monster treasure to release the monsters and unlock a higher level cap. So, and what we see right here, level max, they seem to have a separate upgrade system here for the level itself. It now goes to 210. And then for the effects here. So we see like a red treasure here, a pink treasure there, which I don't think really indicates the rarity, I'll be honest. It seems to work like in the way that you pull for a certain treasure and then you can go and enhance your phoenix with it. The problem I see with it is that we haven't really seen the stats, because those seem to be the same as in game. We see the same 20% holy damage, 30% crit damage we saw before. Level just says max, so there is little info there. And then it says both the Warcraft auras and runes can be unlocked using corresponding treasures, which I think with Warcraft auras they're referring to those, and with the runes they're referring to the flat stat buffs we got later, which also fairly interesting, by the way. Maybe a little detour at this point into the game, into the live version at the moment. 180 max evolved with the 4 stars there. We have the effects. Those are level 30, the runes at the moment. We can't see that here, but this is level 30. 10,000 attack, not really a whole lot. You can see how outdated it is. 10,000 attack, nothing. 200,000 HP. 40 speed. Actually, interestingly enough, in many game modes, still relevant that you get speed from your monster. Holy damage, crit damage is pretty cool if you can upgrade that. I don't really know about crit damage. Holy damage I certainly take. Speed is probably a relevant thing. I'm not too sure how they want to make this step though, because for this to be something relevant, I guess we have to get at least kind of close to something like 5, 6, 7 million, and even that compared to Star, so it's a little bit low, but I guess you could go into that area if you just add it on top of the existing system. I mean, it might be a little bit more early game. I don't know how long you really need to get the required things, but also that they put this in the treasure train system, which we're going to see in a sec, kind of indicates for me that it's a little bit more late game, a little bit more whale oriented. And if it's an expanding layer, well, then probably we have to see some real stats here. And I mean, if I want to put it into the Whale area, make it really relevant, then I would reckon we at least need to see like 5 to 10 million attack there. Keep in mind, this can be lower than Star Souls because we get it on every single hero in our team. So that is a difference. For the runes, this was a major enhancement back then. I remember that. You can see like the difference already. 200,000 HP going to 3.2 million. We have the 180 speed, and this actually combined to 220 speed. That is still something that is very relevant. Around 100,000 attack at the moment from all of this. We seemingly get to enhance this. I don't think there was a screenshot of this part, and we get to enhance this. So both of those. But in any way, this gave you an idea of how outdated this really is. There is a treasure there that we apparently need to get. And then we see the first time the upgraded Phoenix design, which is quite insane. We get a UI overhaul, it seems, because those buttons certainly move from one side to the other. Phoenix there with a little bit of a purplish look. I definitely like the design they chose. I think in the video that I made, I talked about prime monsters or something. This was the way that I described it, and I kind of wanted them to just go ahead, make the design overhaul as well. I'm really happy they went ahead with this and made the Phoenix look a little bit cooler. From this screenshot, I want to point out a few things. They have about 1.1 million of the monster upgrade material for this. There is no special monster upgrade material right here for the regular stats, so they are using the same stuff. It looks to me a little bit like the tree upgrade, if I'm honest, because, well, we also had the tree upgrade with the Stellar. There was the spiritual essence in there as well, but like we used the basic material at quite the insane rate. But compared to my stacks, I'm currently at about 10.8 million for those materials. There was really no more use for it. I really didn't go ahead and got any more. 22k though for the first level. Now you could say there are only 30 levels, but I don't think there are only 30 levels. And the reason I don't think that is that we progressed through those stars on the regular Phoenix. And every time you got like those little purplish gems. Wait, I can show you those again. Up here, and every time you got like through breakthrough threshold, you got one more star, the effect got enhanced, the design got changed. Went like from a baby Phoenix to up to the enhanced Phoenix that we have right here. we have those here too, but look at that. It's already 180 out of 210. This is the same effect, by the way, so sadly we can't really see anything out of that. As the same numbers, 458, 830. You can see once we scroll up, 458, 830, so I don't even need to translate that for you to see that this is the same effect. It's the 180 effect, it's the same. We can upgrade this to 210, but there are 5 slots here. There are 5 slots here. This could indicate that we could see an enhancement of like 150 levels, or up to 150 levels. And within this frame, I can certainly see the effect change in a meaningful way. But also, if we can consider, even if we just say 150 is the way we go with it, and 150 is the base, and let's just think that this stays the same throughout the entire time, until we reach the maximum level. So 150 levels at 22,000 of this material would mean we need 3.4 million. And I mean, we can imagine that this will get kind of more, I guess. So I would reckon we probably need at least like the 10 million for one monster. So I reckon they will probably give us a new source of this material. Because otherwise, I mean, like I will probably get one monster completely with the materials that I have, I guess. Plus, I would probably still miss the new material because they're already talking about Ascending Soul, Spiritual Crystal, Spiritual Rune Crystal, and Gold Coins to upgrade. So apparently some new materials in there as well. And we can see as source, they said, dropped in void battles, events, etc. So we see already that there is some stuff there. I will not have all the material right now to upgrade this, but I would expect that we see upwards of level 300 on those monsters, maybe even more, and see a meaningful change to this. And this is like only the first area. For the second area and the third area, we still have the other material, which is a lot rarer, and we have upgrades for those too, as we already saw right here. There is another treasure right there. Regarding the treasures, if we go into the Warcraft Spiritual Contract, we can see it is in the treasure train, situated below the guild summoning. We see a special way of summoning with special treasure train tickets, so no use in saving up your own tickets at the time. Those seem to be special tickets that we have right there. And we see the monster that we have right here is the Phoenix. I hope you can suggest those later, because if they now send out monsters every now and then we have the treasure train system where you can drop the wrong treasure. It will be kind of annoying. The treasure train will add the search for World of Warcraft Spiritual Contract, which I think is really funny. Probably not going to be the World of Warcraft Spiritual Contract. You can use the World of Warcraft treasure ticket to search for a new series of World of Warcraft treasures. Unlock World of Warcraft treasures, Phoenix. So, can be used to break through and liberate the corresponding World of Warcraft level aura and rune limit, and can strengthen the corresponding level of Warcraft attributes. And I can only now say the way that I imagine this working. Because if we go into the treasure train, and I just decided to go to guild treasures because I know there's a treasure that I don't have max, we get to enhance those treasures to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 star, and we have them at different levels. And I kind of reckon this is going to be the way this works. I don't know if those are going to give us stats. I just think they will just give us a series of like those World of Warcraft treasures or whatever they're going to be called. You're going to go with the treasure train tickets, you're going to summon for those treasures. We don't know the odds yet. The odds can vary quite a lot on this. Like if you imagine the special search, for example, the question is, which treasures can you drop from this? Can you drop all of them? This Rune, by the way, lags like hell, I have no idea. Or is it like a guild collection where you only have like specialized treasures in there? That you can only drop the ones for the monster, which would make it rather easy. I mean, if there's only one monster in there at the moment, you don't really need a whole lot of treasure tickets to get it. So I reckon they will probably add some other ones in there to make it a little bit more like the festival search, which doesn't really explain the red treasure though. I thought they would do like pink and orange, and then all the pink and orange ones that you can drop are the monster ones, and then all the other ones, the red, the green, and everything can be from other series too. But we don't know that yet. And the theory that I have is that for the first upgrade, you need the treasure at 1 star, and then there is a second upgrade where you need it at 2 star, then a third one at 3rd star, etc. until you get to the final one where you need it at 5 star. And this would kind of fit together with this being like 5 gem slots. So you need the first, the 1 star treasure here, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, until you max it at 5 star, and this will unlock the final level bracket for you. This is the idea that I have. I don't know. There's no info on that, so we don't know that yet. Way to obtain World of Warcraft treasure voucher, event launch, star diamond shopping, event gift packs. So furthermore, we get a mechanic that has no drop in game, which is sad. So if this is really a key requirement, a requirement that you have to fulfill to be able to get those monsters, then I'm a little bit disappointed. Because, well, the treasure train system in its way has always been a little bit more whale-oriented, always been a little bit hard to access for free-to-play and low spenders, with some strategies like revolving around the 150 treasure point monthly challenge, where you then just wait for hero token and go for that. Those are some of the strategies, but still I see some progress there now for free to play, as they've made some more free drops of those treasure tickets, but we don't know how it's going to be for those. It is good that they are going to be available for star diamonds. Star diamond shopping will be an option, which of course leaves you the option to go to SG Hub, our sponsor, well, my project really, where you can find the link down in the description, and where you can buy the cheapest starry gems in the game. You can start off with 20k for 19 USD per 2,500 starry gems, so 152 USD in total for 20,000 starry gems in game. That would cost you 800 USD. So crazy discounts there. Could definitely recommend, so check it out. Link is down in the description, and that could also get you prepared for those World of Warcraft treasures and for your enhanced monster. No new topics here, by the way. And yeah, so what's my final opinion on this? Well, I can't really say too much. Like, it is difficult. We see the mechanic right now. We see the design. I like the design. That is good. I like the fact they are enhancing monsters. This is also good. I like this aspect. I think we have 6 heroes and 1 monster in a team. So would be kind of sad to not really care about the monster. So having this being put like a little bit more into the focus of the game, that is kind of nice. So I think that is a good thing. Is it good that it's combined with the treasure train aspect of the game? Well, it is tough to access for free to play, and I think this is something many players that play the game for a long time and are free to play have those monsters and would in theory be able to access the system. And I would have liked them to access the system, actually. I think it would have been rather nice. So I hope they add them to some events so that they that people get to upgrade their monster. And if it's not to like the maximum, then at least a few levels so that they get to have this new design. I think that would be at least something. We have to see the effects. I don't know about this yet. We don't know about this yet. They have to bring them into a meaningful area. Stuff like this can't stay at 500,000 HP healing. This is just way too low. And I wonder where the scaling is going to go. Are we going to see this effect go to a level where it is meaningful? Because flat HP healing inherently has a problem. It has a problem on my account already. Like, if you wanted to effectively heal my LFA with a monster like this and want to give him meaningful heal, it would have to be like 10 billion. But if we go to a monster that is or a hero that is a little bit weaker on my account, let's say, who do we take? Let's say, for example, my LDA, because it's a minus copy. Yeah, 10 billion is more HP than he even has. Like, so multiple heroes it's more HP than they have. And the heroes in my team, granted, well, there is a little bit more than 10 billion there, but like, you can see the distance between those heroes, so it's tough to really give a flat HP value and say, okay, this much it is. I would probably say, I would probably just switch that and make it a percent heal, and then I said, okay, it heals 20% of your HP or something. That makes more sense. So I wonder how they are going to work with this. Is monster damage going to be something that now is meaningful? Is this going to deal a ton of damage? Well, so there are many questions there open. Where are they going to go with the stat scaling on this? This is going to be interesting. Are we going to see massive speed? Are we going to see massive holy damage, crit damage? And for some monsters, this is really interesting. I mean, we have different stats there. Are they going to fix problems that we have seen past? Like, we see zero use of monsters like Apparition, even though they grant 120% damage against frozen targets and 120%, obviously more than 80%. Plus a chance to freeze. This chance to freeze wasn't too good. Control immunity has gone up. It's like, is something like this going to be meaningful, where we really freeze the enemy? Are we going to see transcendence effects maybe on those monsters? Because we have CC monsters, they're just not used. What's going to happen with the 120% of damage? So many questions in there. Are they going to fix that? Are we going to see more variety in... Well, we are not going to see more variety in monster use. Variety is going to die. Like, is it really going to be that? I mean, we have one monster then that is upgraded, and all other monsters are going to be worse, so it's going to be Phoenix on every build. Shout out to Phoenix, I guess. Don't forget your Nova Spectre Stars, so you can at least get some burn on the enemies. It's going to be a little bit relevant, I guess. Should be able to actually activate Phoenix, so maybe just if you want to do some PvE, get the Nova Spectre Star, so you just need it on level 1. Later on, I mean, we are going to get more monsters, and it's going to be an interesting question of where they go for this and what they are going to do. Like reducing 37% armor and 37 speed is no longer that meaningful, but what are they going to do with this? I'm really looking forward to this. I'm also looking forward to the design. Stuff like things could look absolutely sick. And if you've asked me probably like a month ago and said, Rec, what do you reckon if they were to upgrade monsters, what are they going to do? I would have reckoned that they were going to go for some kind of awakening system, honestly. I would have seen Monster Awakening. Like SSS tier and X tier Phoenix or something. I would have seen that, yeah. That would have what I would have reckoned. But I guess one step they want to do, and also one reason they kind of do that, they want to get this into the spending area. They really don't want to have this in a way where you could just go with contract story. I mean, you can potentially still over time, but you know how whales work. Whales work in the way that they go for those events, that they go for ultra powerful link, that they want this in their mysterious sale and just click on the resources and get them as fast as possible and have the Phoenix maxed before there is even another monster, and that is how that works. So they really wanted it to be like available in those events, and I think they positioned themselves kind of well with that treasure train thought, at least from a financial standpoint on their side. For all the rest, we'll have to see what really works and what really happens, and if it works out for us. And I think we're going to have to go into that with more detail once they really release the effects, and then we can talk about it. And for now, as I said, it's only Phoenix, of course, probably the most iconic monster we have in Idle Heroes. It is an interesting aspect, I guess. It is always also an interesting perspective when you go into a game mode like this, and where you have whales like me that have hoarded those resources over years, because I don't know when I actually maxed my last monster. That was really years ago, probably 3 years, 4 years, something. I don't know, an eternity ago. And thus probably have a ton more resources than other players, and you kind of don't want to give them an appropriate advantage for the time that they have collected the resources. Because the problem with that is, if you give me an advantage for the time that I've collected those resources, and you make it appropriate considering the time that I've collected them, you exclude other players from engaging with the mechanic. So you kind of have to devaluate the resources that are already on there. So I'm curious how they're going to do this, because right now with the screenshot that we saw of like 22k resources that you need for that, it kind of seems like those 10 million could be very valuable actually. So I don't know how they're going to handle this. I can't imagine that this is going to give me like a huge advantage. What I would reckon is that they're going to upgrade the resource drops for this so far that you are probably not stuck with this. Or they put them in packs. Do you reckon they put them in packs? That you can get like stellar packs, you can also get monster upgrade material packs with like 2 million of this or something? Or I could imagine that. That's dirty. That's dirty. That is like that they put this next to Stella in the shop again. Ooh. Oh, that is insane. I don't know, there are some chests that include those as well. But if there's an old chest, then they are balanced for the old stuff, so I reckon they're going to put them in packs. Oh, that is dirty. I get ideas now. But okay, the video has dragged on long enough, I think. Tell me your opinion down in the comments below. Tell me whether you enjoyed this. Kind of got a little bit longer, but I kind of want to discuss this with you guys. I thought this must be rather interesting. So with that, I wish you a great day. Stay tuned, by the way. After Star Expedition, we are going to start a new series on this channel. Will be very cool. Also, of course, Idle Heroes series. I announced a little bit on the Discord. So with that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.